Welcome to The Conscious Investor. Let's get started. I'm so excited to be joined this entire week with Mauricio and Princess. If you don't know them, I don't know where you've been because they are everywhere, especially over on all the social platforms. Check out Facebook to make sure that you connect up with them. But today, I just want to welcome to the Conscious Investor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Julie. It's great seeing you again. Good to be here.
I know we've been tracking, we've been in breakout rooms together. I remember when, you had just had your daughter, and it's been really neat just over the last year and a half to see life evolve, to, watch you guys close deals. Like, so much has transpired. And unfortunately, Princess, you were not able to make Dealmaker live, but Mauricio and I were able to actually meet in person. And I was just loved watching your interview with Michael Blanc on stage. It was fantastic. Your transparency, just paves a path before you. But in the segment, I'd love to, just like dive into, who are you guys? Where'd you come from? What do you have going on? What makes you guys tick?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, as all of my podcast goes, like, I'm an industrial engineer by profession, and I do planning for the companies and also for the manufacturing. I also do basically connecting with the customers and with all the departments. So, it's kind of like the jack of all trades in the company. And mostly the industrial engineer, it depends on the company's performance. If they are performing good or if they are performing not, that it all depends on the industrial engineer. So basically, it's the brain of the company, if I would say that. So most of the headaches and most of the pressure are actually in an industrial engineer. It's because, you actually pave the way for the company to make profit and also to have a customer happy. So it all depends on that. But also, so I've been in this business for almost, I would say, a decade. But, thanks for my husband that I was able to get out of it of my W-2 actually last year. It's because of the multifamily industry that we got into also. So yeah, I'm also a real estate profession, an agent. I got my license like almost 4 years ago, but I've never really had it. No, 3 years ago, sorry. Yeah. But I never really practiced it just because I'm into my profession, the W-2 profession. But thanks to multifamily, I was able to utilize it and be able to, take advantage of it.
Yeah, she is definitely the brains of the organization. He is the one that puts everything together, and I'm the one who usually makes the connections, speaks to the brokers, the investors, and so forth. I do residential real estate, Julie, for about 7 years now. And I love what I do. I love working with new first-time home buyers. I love when I help people go from their first to their second property. But I think we both figured out that multifamily is where our passion is.
Yeah. And, it's good to be helping also other investors to get on board, especially those first-time investors. So it's kind of like fulfilling at some point to get them started and to see them grow, and up to where they wanted their portfolio would be.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about multifamily investing is being able to onboard someone who didn't have any knowledge that this was an option for their investment portfolio, and then they discover it, and I'm able to, educate them. And when they are in an investment, it makes my heart so happy because I know the power. I know what escalator they just stepped on, and I know the power behind it. And
That's
it's like,
true.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for your journey ahead. You have no idea how amazing life is going to become.
And you know what? To be honest, like when we first discovered multifamily, we never really thought of it. I mean, it's just kind of like outside of our world. We never thought it even existed. So when we find out about multifamily, it was just like, oh my God, we can't believe that you can do it. You know, it's how many people are doing it. Like, we don't know. Like, we never really know those people even existed because we don't even know that multifamily space. So not until we found out. And then I was like, oh my God, we can't wait for our friends to bring in, you know, just make sure that they are accredited or they are qualified or sophisticated, or to get them on board to be sophisticated investor, right? So we
wanted to share it with everyone because there's so many people that have funds and they don't know what to do because they think, well, I'd like to invest in real estate, but it's not enough to buy a property on my own. Plus, you have to take into consideration the loan, property taxes, and so forth, versus working with someone like you or ourselves that can do all the headaches, can do all the work for them and help them grow. It's really great.
It's such a powerful way. So, and I'm going to just give this plug. When this episode airs, there's going to be an episode already out with Brandon Hall, who is a CPA, and we do some very specific segments for passive investors who are working their W-2. And then there's also a segment for real estate professionals, you know, real estate agents, because real estate agents are the unicorns. And he explains in the episode that by nature of being a real estate agent, if you have just one asset that you are the active investor, could be a single family home, it could be an Airbnb, it doesn't matter what it is, but if you are the active investor on that, you can now recharacterize all of your passive losses into active. So now your income is completely, you can just obliterate your income over on your, 1099. So if you're listening to this and you are friends that are, real estate professionals, as in real estate agents, and you're looking for a way to, kind of navigate some of those self-employment taxes and all the other things that really, we get hit with as being self-employed professionals, make sure you go and listen to that episode because it will unlock a whole new world for a lot of people.
That's great. I talk to my colleagues, I always tell them the same thing. Like, how much do you pay in taxes? I mean, we're 1099. We pay a lot, and this is a way to offset. And I personally think that every real estate agent, especially the ones who live here in California, should look for a way to invest out of state or even here, because we have to put our money to work. And besides the taxes, we don't have an exit strategy. We just work and work until we're no longer able to hold open house signs, right?
Right.
So this is a way for us to create an exit strategy.
Yeah. And, it's interesting. Now, do you have a background in residential, Mauricio? What did you do prior to going into residential real estate and then multifamily?
Before residential, I was managing a bankruptcy department for a law firm here in Orange County. And I did that for quite a few years. So that was through the recession. So I filed probably like close to 400 Chapter 7s. And that's how I got involved into real estate, just seeing how everything took a dive and thinking I'd like to be on the other side of the coin instead of telling people, hey, you're going to have to foreclose, be the one who wanted to give them the keys. So that's what I did before.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So a little bit more about who you are on a little offshoot here. I'm curious, what are some of the things in Orange County? You're at least driving distance to, it's not that far. It's Southern California traffic though. So it's like forever, but what are some of the things that you guys enjoy doing when you're, down in the Orange County, the OC life?
There's so many things.
I know. Yeah.
Well, we moved to a different city, close to where we used to live. So we're 25 minutes away from the Newport Beach Pier, and that's Huntington Beach and all that stuff. So this summer we took our daughter to the beach quite a few times, and that was really nice. We went to explore a new beach, it was Dana Point, Crystal
Cove Beach.
Yeah. And I mean, everything is so close, and we also like going on hikes. Obviously, because of our daughter, we can't take her too far. but there's so many things to do here, so many outdoor things, and the weather, as you know, it's always great. So besides that, I mean, exploring food options, huh?
Yeah, exploring food options. Even before we got our daughter, we're just like into, hey, let's try this one. Hey, let's try the restaurant here. Oh, well, it's newly open. Let's get a taste. So something like that. So I would say probably we are kind of like an adventurous when it comes to food. We could try anything as long as it's not really like so alive and moving, right? It's so raw, but we love to get a taste of a new food.
Yeah. And
I always say with food, as long as if it's something that I think is going to be too weird, just tell me after the fact. If it's going to be delicious, that's great. Let me eat it. And then just tell me, you just ate whatever. And I'll be like, oh, okay. That worked.
And there's just so many things to do here. Before the lockdown, of course, and before we got pregnant, we used to go to comedy shows also. Sure. Joe Coy is one of our favorite comedians, and we wanted to see Fluffy and, people like that. So there's just a lot of things to do, but we were always working also. And I think that's one of the reasons that we wanted to look for something different, because we live in a beautiful place where there's so many things to do. And we were always working.
Yeah, we're always working. Either I'm working, from Monday to Friday, and he's working every weekend. So we never really got that time to really meet and, hey, Lena, let's go out. So the opportunity that we always get is like after work, which is, you don't have that much time to do, maybe until midnight if you wanted to. But, on the weekend, it's either he's working or I'm at home, or I also do some work at the weekend. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things to do, but we have very little time.
And I think that's a plight of a lot of people, people putting in 60-hour work weeks, professionals working 60 hours. And if you have a family, then it's okay. The kids are in the extracurriculars. They're doing, soccer, whatever sport it is, probably, or music, whatever it is. They're doing something extracurricular because that's what a lot of kids end up doing. And you end up wondering, like, where is our time? The weekend comes and it's a matter of, oh, well, we got to run errands. You got to, get the house clean. You got to do the jobs, the chores. So, what's interesting is when you make that transition into a self-employed world, it is a transition. I'm wondering what that transition was like, because, you're both in the self-employed world. My husband and I are both in that exact same situation. Lots of transitions for most people. So what were some of those pain points, and how did you overcome them? Yeah. Or was it all rainbows and unicorns? It could have been, but in general, I usually see people go through like some learning curves as they make that shift.
Yeah, I mean, for me, being on outside and working 9 to 5 and shifting just to go work from home is kind of like, even, I mean, probably after pandemic, when I kind of like, okay, I think I'm going to be working from home, right? So I'll be at home most of the time. So the transition is, being busy into something that, I got most of the time. Before, when you go on a break from your 9 to 5 job, you go outside and eat, and you go talk to your office mates or whatever. And now he's like, okay, I have my husband, so I have him like for 24/7 now. So what else should I talk about? Or kind of like, you go out and make your own meal, at lunch. So, which is good. You get to prepare most of your food, which is, you eat more healthy now that we're leaning more towards the healthy lifestyle. So we kind of like picked what we really want and not just like what is being offered. Right. Mm-hmm. And go ahead.
I think one of the biggest challenges that we had was turning the work mode off, because we were working sometimes. Right as our daughter was born, we were underwriting deals sometimes to 3 a.m, and she would put her alarm like every 2 hours to feed our daughter, and then step out with the baby monitor. And I was still underwriting outside, and the next day, we had to do it all over again. So it got to a point where we were together, but we were so focused on work that we weren't like really enjoying the time. And I think that was a big challenge, because we had to teach ourselves or tell ourselves, okay, enough work, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta no work, phones away. And I think that was probably the toughest part.
How that is so common. Like, I'm like, I have clients. You're echoing like coaching clients of mine. It's a common transition challenge that people face, especially when you love what you do and you see the bigger picture of what you do and how it benefits others. It's really like, I just want to stay doing this. No, I need to get this next deal because it's going to help us and is going to help so many other people. So, you know, how did you guys overcome that?
For us, we're more focused on really trying to get them on board, especially our friends, because we never really got the chance to get this one on us, right? It's because, sorry, let me rephrase it. We knew multifamily from the very beginning, but we never really got a chance to like really explore the extent of it. So as we go along, we've explore new things, and we just wanted to share it with people. And I think that's one of our motto in our company and our vision is to really like, you know, extend the financial independence to others. And that's what really made us motivated and keep going. And there was a point that we were just like, you know what, we ended up close our first deal, and then what's next? You know, what are we gonna do now? Like, what are we gonna keep chasing deals? Are we just gonna keep managing the existing deal, or are we gonna be looking into more of like other things? But for us, it's like, I think it's an opportunity and it's a responsibility for an operator to really look forward and to see more deals and find more deals and get into more deals. It's only because there are people relying on us. You know, these people chose us and trusted us their money. It's because they know that we have a vision that we could help them at some point get their financial independence. And I think that's what really kept us going when it comes to this one. And that's just our motto.
That and putting the phones away for a few hours at a time.
Right. Well, and that's part of that challenge is like, how do we, now that we have 24/7 to be working and to be together, how do we create spaces to where we don't feel that we must be productive? So do you time block? Do you say these are business hours, or?
We try to do like Fridays, for example, Friday evenings, just 4 or 5 p.m., turn everything off. And during the day now, I think we've managed it a little bit better. When we were in due diligence for our deal, it was tough. And I see by your expression, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those were times where we had agreed we can't really put the phone away. We can't really move the focus away. We have to stay on this until we close. After we closed, then it was easier to block some time away.
Yeah, and we kind of put our weekends as much as possible free for just only for our daughter, just because she is into exploring right now. And we made it to a point that, you know, after 5 p.m. we go to the park and spend some time with her, play with her, and the next thing you know, go back and have some dinner all together, you know. And in the morning, that's what we're trying to do also, like, as if time, or if my daughter gives me the chance to wake up early, then, you know, we go for a bike, or we go for a bike ride, or we go for a run. So yeah, there is that constant schedule, but really, you know, it varies at some point because of our daughter.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. When they're young, there is a lot more variations taking place. Actually, it's always varying. Like, we've got, 13, it's like, yep, I thought it was going to slow down or change. No, it's always this like flux, this change.
Yeah.
But
I remember actually at Dealmaker Live, when I saw you had your phone and you looked at me and you said, someday you're going to be texting like this with your daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was the coolest thing.
It is really cool when you can communicate, or when they swipe your phone and they do video messages to you and you don't even know it's in your photos until you go to check a photo and you're like, wait, what's this? I get some hilarious, talk about, we love comedy. So I get some very hilarious moments. I'm going to save it for when they get older. But as we wrap this segment up, what is the best way for people to reach out and connect with you?
I think the best way is probably Facebook. We're both very active on Facebook. We have our LinkedIn and Instagram profiles, but I think Facebook is one where we connect the most. So either just find our names, Princess Roque or Mauricio Roque.
Yeah. Or, if they got a chance to go on our website, that would be www.brickstoneinvestmentgroup.com.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining me in this first segment as to well, who are you? I'm so excited. And everyone, make sure you connect up with them, and make sure that you are, following. If you're on a, podcast platform, make sure that you're following. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, because throughout the week, you're going to learn more about Princess and Mauricio, and you're just going to absolutely fall in love with them the way I have. They're amazing, extraordinary people. We're going to be touching base on their mindset. We're going to be touching base on what they consciously pursue, and you don't want to miss out. Until next time, live big, love bigger. Overwhelmed by apartment syndication but want to learn more? Let me help you press the easy button. Head over to 3keysinvestments.com and download Syndication Made Simple. I explain simply how the process works, who's involved, and how you can get started today. You're smart, and with this simple guide, you'll be able to understand the process. Head over to 3keysinvestments.com and download Syndication Made Simple.